everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Sal.
And we're back from New York Comic Con.
That's right. We got two Bat books for you today. We're going to talk about Batman number 32, written by Tom King with art by Mikel Janin. And then we're going to jump into Batman White Knight, kind of an Elseworldsian book from Sean Murphy.
White Knight.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to break those two up with a special kind of promotion that I want to share with you guys. We're very excited.
But it's themed.
It's very themed. And
Theming.
comes straight from New York Comic Con.
Right.
I think you're going to like it. Before we get into Batman number 32, of course, you have to know what happened. So if you haven't gotten a chance to go to the comic book store, here's what went on. Batman, Riddler, and the Joker battle hand to hand until the Riddler cries mercy and begs Batman to tell him, is the Joker laughing? He reveals he orchestrated the creation of Kite Man and the entire war of jokes and riddles in an effort to make the Joker laugh again. That making the Joker laugh was more of a riddle than figuring out Batman's secret identity. Overwhelmed by the Riddler's cavalier attitude towards human casualties in his wake, Batman attempts to stab the Riddler in the face with a big honkin' knife and fails because of the Joker. Finally, the Joker laughs. Batman and the Riddler are defeated, and Batman gets a yes out of Catwoman. So there you have it, everybody. That was the conclusion of the War of Jokes and Riddles.
Yep.
Oh, man. I got a lot of thoughts about this book. How about you?
Yeah.
Tom King has always been a sore spot for me when it comes to Batman, and a high point for me when it comes to robots. I think he really writes those well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also enjoyed Mr. Miracle.
Oh,
yeah. I think that's, like, a phenomenal series that's out right now.
When I was a kid, I always thought Mr. Miracle was a robot, so there we go. But, yeah, I gotta tell you, I don't like his Batman, I don't like his Riddler, I don't like his Joker, and I don't like this series. I thought it was a horrible event, and I think that he just whizzed it. I think that the big reveal, while not in line with what we always thought, because we've actually been talking about this since it came out.
Yes.
We had some theories about what was going to make the Joker laugh. Invariably, he does laugh in this issue. The trigger isn't quite what we expected.
No, and honestly, like, the trigger itself, for me, is, like, done in such a, like, casual, like, wave-of-the-hand fashion, but is so, like, in changing Batman.
Yes.
Like, for me, this changes.
Yeah.
Him,
the nature of Batman.
In a sense.
You know what
I mean?
Tom King's not beyond doing that. He likes to change fundamental aspects of the character.
For me, that was so, like, strange.
Yes.
Because that was the high point of the whole, like, not high point, but that was the whole purpose of this whole thing.
Yeah, that was the climax.
He had this dark secret, and you know, like, that was what preventing him from potentially, like, being in a relationship with Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
And then for it to just be like, and there it is, and whatever.
And it's this.
And it's like...
And I guarantee you he had that in his pocket the entire time. I don't think... This is not one of those situations where I think that they were pressured from editorial to change it.
No.
Or he couldn't come up with it and then came up with it halfway through writing it. I think that this was his big holy crap moment.
No, I definitely... I hear what you're saying, because the fact that Selena then, like... there's a message here, right?
Yes.
And, like, I understand the message, and I like a message in a book, right?
Yeah.
Like, I like something like that. It's like, oh, we have a learning lesson, cool, whatever. And, like,
Sure.
she comes in, and she's just like, no, it's not what, like, you know, what happened, it's who you are, and what you do, and, like, whatever. And, like, sometimes you ignore that, fine. Cool. But when you have a long history of Batman like this, and his big thing is he doesn't take that step. He doesn't step over to the dark side.
Right, but this really pushed him there. And he was young, and he wasn't able to... you know, control himself, or actually he was in perfect control of himself. He chose to do that.
Right, and
using
like,
a big, stupid knife.
So, but like for me, like the lesson doesn't make up for the change in his character.
Well, there's no real lesson. Like, the lesson is there, but it's also incredibly trite and hollow. And I understand that a lot of people really, really dug the ending. I heard nothing but praise about the reveal, about the twist, about what made the Joker laugh and why.
Right.
And everybody that I've seen in communities and in discussions are on board for it.
Right.
And no one is talking about how, like, it fundamentally changes the character, or if they are, they're saying, like, good, Batman needed a fundamental change in his character.
Okay.
I disagree.
Yeah, like, and that's, you know what, that's the thing, though, is that, like,
It's
so,
literature. It's subjective.
Yeah, like, so there are going to be things that we don't agree with that someone else does, and that's totally fine. Because, you know, when you have a character who's had so many different writers, they're going to bring something different to the table
And
each
you're
time.
not always going to like it.
That's exactly it. So, like, for us, maybe this is something we're not a huge fan of, but that's fine if you are. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
One thing that changed for me was my approach to the art for this issue.
Really?
With Mikel Janin. And I thought, when it first started, that he was awesome.
Right.
And the more I went through this series, the less I thought that.
I thought that he, like, This issue, like art-wise, I didn't really think about it, except that last few pages.
The last few pages, I was like,
they're gorgeous.
I was on board.
Yeah, like,
because I don't think I've ever seen his Selina Kyle just exposed.
Right,
and I loved it.
She's stunning. First of all, I mean, like, of course, like she's gorgeous.
Right, we've always seen Selina Kyle being beautiful, but like I've really never quite visualized it like that before.
For me, like, he depicts her in a way that isn't like overly sexualized, but
no.
she's still like
no, it's vulnerable
sexy.
beauty.
Yeah, like
because she does that amazing thing with her mascara and how she's like it's running. It's just like wow.
Yes, but there's still like.
But overall, just the face in general.
Yeah, like it's stunning.
It is stunning.
That I was like wow.
And what's interesting is the faces are the things I have the most problem with because his Riddler face is the same face every single issue throughout, and I hated his design, and this is not, the story's over and it didn't change. It didn't evolve, didn't grow, it didn't become the thing I wanted, and so that's too bad.
No, I hear you. There was a moment when he invokes Kite Man's like catchphrase,
slogan, yes, catchphrase,
and for a second I was like, wow, did Batman switch places with Kite Man
that would have been awesome.
To let him get his vengeance?
Right.
And that's the mistake he made.
That would have been
That's
amazing.
his dark secret, is that he allowed this to happen.
Yeah, if you're going to set it before he becomes, like, the Batman mentor, before he has a Robin, maybe it's, like, a learning experience for him, where he's like, I'm going to let this guy, like, get his revenge, and it's like, that's not what you do. And it's like, okay, well then, and so by the time he actually does take on a Robin, he has a way different approach to mentoring and allowing people to, grieve and find their vengeance.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened.
No.
It's too bad. I liked that idea.
Forgive me. I don't remember whose knife or whose gun was it. Do you remember?
Oh, I don't even know.
Because it would have been... Maybe it's just the animated series coming in here, but like if it were Joker's gun, and he pulls it and it's just bang.
Yes.
And it's just like...
So it's like, oh, I made you break your vow.
But I didn't make you break it. And
exactly.
that's what's funny.
Yeah. No, that would have been amazing too. Again, completely no.
And like, and from that point on, he's like, never again.
That would have been cool.
He learns his own lesson from his actions.
Yes. He thought, it's like, he thought making a promise was easy.
Yes.
Until he actually was pushed to the brink. And then I mean, we're basically seeing that, but in a less poetical sense.
At the end of the day, this was a really interesting journey.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's one that I will go on again.
No.
I mean, like, I don't know if, again, maybe a trade read is a little bit different. I know people love Kite Man, and out of this, like, he ended up being, like, a fairly interesting character and, like, a symptom of Gotham, and that's kind of neat. It's just that we had to wrap it into this other part of a story.
Right, but don't forget, as the Riddler said, it's not always about Batman.
Right, but
this book, Batman.
Hang on. No, it's fine. I get that. I get what you're saying there, Tom King. But then don't put Batman in it.
Right.
Like, tell a story about Gotham that doesn't involve him.
Yeah. Well, but then people wouldn't buy it. We've seen what happens when you make someone else Batman, or you don't make Batman in it.
I know.
It gets canceled.
People get upset.
Yeah.
I hear ya. I get what you're saying, but then, like, don't... I don't know.
I don't know. But I will say, the end, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I liked the ending. That said, I would never recommend World Jokes and Riddles to anyone. For any reason. Like, we used to do recommendations, and so it's like, hey, you know what, would you recommend this book?
Right.
And it's like, I can't even say, like, would you recommend the conclusion? It's like, well, if you're reading War Jokes, you gotta read the ending. That said, I would never recommend this series.
I think, personally, I think, like, would I recommend it as just, like, here's a strong Batman story? For me, no, because clearly that's not what it's meant to be.
But it's not a Batman story.
Tom King even says it in the book. It's not really a Batman story. But I think it's going to be something that King's going to build off of. And so I think if you're going to continue reading, I think you do have to read this. I think you need to understand...
That's fair.
...some of the mentality that goes into this, because I'm not sure if we're not going to see personality changes from here on out now that he's explained this.
Yeah, and we definitely saw from New York Comic Con that Tom King at least has 17 more issues ready to go.
Right? So I think at the very least, if this was something you weren't on board for, you dropped off on,
better get used to it.
You might want to check in a little bit here.
Yeah, you need to know. Well, it is all an entire flashback, but it will probably inform the mentality or the pacing of what's going to happen.
And I don't know that for certain. I'm just like, that's just a concern of mine going forward.
I agree.
Is that, like, if you didn't read it, you might not.
And it's too bad because
understand something.
I love the concept that they're pushing forward. Where Batman now has to break it to everybody. He has to tell Superman, he has to tell Alfred, he has to tell the kids about his engagement.
Oh, please.
And I'm excited about that, but Tom King's Batman is so toxic to me.
Right.
And that these wonderful moments that I want to see are not things I want to see, and will probably not even be things that I'm going to see.
Clark's the one he doesn't want to tell the most.
I think so. Because he's be like, oh, yeah, I knew it. You want to be happy. You big grump. But you know it's not going to be that way because Tom King hates everything, apparently.
I don't think he hates everything. I think he's a very different...
His Batman is a robot.
He's a very different view on Batman and what he should be, or, like, breaking what he thinks has gone on for too long.
Yeah.
And what, like, at the end of the day, where we go from this, who knows? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
But it's working for a lot of people.
Yes,
and
it's a strong seller.
But I think at the end of the day, like, it's good for people to embrace change. And the fact that people are, and the fact that, like, we're seeing a very different Batman than we've seen before, and people are all in on it, I think there's the positive there is that people enjoy it, they're buying it, it is part of Rebirth, great, and it is change, and change can be good. Yeah. Now, again, it may not be something we are totally 100% on board for. That doesn't mean I've hated every single thing that Tom King has done with Batman. No. There have been moments that I've really enjoyed, honestly. Yeah. And we'll just see where it goes.
That's true. Well, so let's take a quick break, and then we'll jump into our review of White Knight. This is going to be a long one. Hey, gang, we're going to get into this box in just a second, but I want to thank you guys for sticking around and watching this promotion, because we only sell you stuff that we would buy ourselves and that we would be clients of. And so, I thought we'd check out this Culture Fly box. It's this one is from the World's Finest collection. The thing that is very specifically distinctive about this box versus, say, a Loot Crate or a Geek Fuel box is that this box is comprised entirely of content made by these people. This is not a box that they went to the dollar store, went to the superhero section, and then just walked by and then filled by, you know, with a bunch of trinkets and knickknacks that were $1.50. Yeah. These are things that are made specifically for you, by them, for this box. Exactly. You get this box, no one else is going to have the things within this box.
Unless they have the box. Too.
Unless they get the box as well.
Honestly, the company it's a very small company, but it's made up of a bunch of designers and other various, like, business folk. Yes. But the designers work to make things that we would like, and they get all the licensing. This is fully licensed. They work with each of the companies who own the properties to just come up with interesting products to put into these boxes. Okay, ready? Yep. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, sweet. All right, we got a menu card. I'm not going to look at that yet.
I don't know. First up, this Batman vinyl figure, and it's Batman Rebirth. This is a figure of... Really? Yeah, and it's basically just... it's actually... I know that image very well. That's the image of Batman from the first issue of Tom King's run on Rebirth.
He has a display in the box. The box becomes his display.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, you keep going. I will open this up as we go.
You'll see all kinds of these bat things in our bat cave, by the way. Another thing we got here, we got a nice...
That actually made me laugh.
Got this shirt here.
What do you... I don't think that's going to fit you.
No, this is size small, so it will fit maybe you, I think.
Yes, wow.
It's actually made specifically for
Yes, it will definitely fit me.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to be a member of Wayne Industries. I love this! What is that?
It's like Batman Rebirth logo.
We may need the menu, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what this is.
No.
It looks like corn holders?
It very well could
No,
be.
They're push pins.
Oh, thank God.
These are push pins. Use them, but These are awesome. I love that. When you put it in, it'll look
like a batarang was thrown into the wall.
I really like that. I need to have important papers to put on a bulletin board.
Yes. Well, thankfully, because we're here in the office now.
I know,
we
right?
We have a bulletin board. Bat mug.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
I know you've been in the market for a coffee mug, so that worked out great.
Alright, so this is awesome because it's one of the stainless steel inside and outside. A lot of times when you get the mugs, that's stainless steel outside, plastic inside. Oh. Not a huge fan of the plastic inside. It feels like it might be double-walled, so that's awesome. And I like this non-skid base.
Yeah.
I'm a spaz and a half, everybody.
Good rubber base.
Yeah.
Here we have a Wayne Industries thing. I'm gonna open it up here.
Open it up.
And it is... Oh, it's one of these multi-tool thingies.
Oh, neat. Oh, well, look at the thing.
Yeah.
Wayne Industries utility card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a little ruler here. It's got a saw here.
Alright. I've gotten Batman out.
Oh, good.
I got him on his base. I'm working on getting on one.
Well, he's all about it, as I understand.
Really?
I don't know. Sorry.
That's what we're doing?
Here we go. So this utility tool features an opener, a knife edge, a screwdriver, a ruler, a can opener, a 4-position wrench, butterfly wrench, a saw blade, direction ancillary indication, 2-position wrench, and a keyring hole. Huh.
I just had a total spastic moment where I couldn't get those on, but it was like as easy as anything, but like I just could not do it.
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
Here is our Batman vinyl figure. Batman Rebirth. Here he is with his little bat face. Cape.
Yeah, so if you are a fan of the Rebirth costume, boom, here it is.
Yeah, and also it comes with a little mini like
hey, there's the cover I was talking about.
Yeah. If you'd like to put him in his display, you could technically stand here amongst the Rebirth folks.
This is cool. I'm actually legitimately excited. This is an evidence bag from the GCPD, and it has a description of Harvey Dent, but it also has his signature coin, and it's an actual metal coin.
No way, really?
Yes. But not only do we have that, we also have this GCPD evidence document that features the Joker and his card.
I'm opening this.
Oh, sweet, good idea.
I'm opening this right now. I want to see the back of the coin. Yep. Okay. Right?
Sweet.
There we go.
Oh, this is cool. It's not a bunch of cards. It's just a heavy stock.
Oh, nice.
Version of the card.
That's good. Honestly, we would have broken or bent the cards themselves.
I would have lost them.
That's awesome.
We also have this iron-on patches. Once again, Wayne Industries, and also the Rebirth Batman logo.
I flipped the coin. We're doing well.
Oh, cool.
Oh, like, you know what? I gotta tell you, I appreciate iron-on patches.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh. Good side.
All right, awesome. I gotta say, I appreciate iron-on patches.
Yeah, I do too. Because I can't stitch.
I've tried it. It's just I end up hating everything.
Yeah. We've also got this gorgeous print here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's like David Finch's work.
I like it.
Just a nice little image of that.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I do the theme every time I hold up anything. I'm like, duh, I can't do that. We don't own that. All right, what? There's one more thing in here.
There's one more thing.
What is it?
Whoa. You want me to show you?
Yeah.
It's an umbrella. Like it's the bat grapple gun.
No, you have to undo the thing.
Boom. This is awesome. It also has bats on it, as you can see from the front.
We could have used that on Sunday at the con.
Damn it. Yeah, no, look at it. It's the grapple gun, so it's just like you go, okay, for doom.
That's amazing. Wow. I really like that.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, yeah.
I'm dry.
Well, this is my new umbrella now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
That is the best umbrella.
Sweet. So there you go. We've also got this swell. And of course, they all fit in this swell box that looks nice. And it's got little bats in it. So yeah, there you go. Culture Fly. If you liked anything in this box, you can't have it. Unless you order from these guys and gals. They're all incredible people. We actually got a chance to talk to them a little bit, and maybe we'll do a video where we go over their offices and show you how the magic is made. Because this box will never come again. This is the box for the Batman stuff from World's Finest Collection.
You can still get it, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Eventually it'll be available, but like, if you want this all right here, you can only get it from these guys.
Yeah, you gotta go check it out. Check it out what they're doing with their other, like, you know, geek properties that they have. Honestly, like, I am totally interested in a lot of their other, like, box
properties.
Yeah.
If you want your own, go in the description box, grab the Culture Fly link and click it. Check it out and see what's coming in the pipeline for these guys. Because let me tell you, we've seen some of the things that are coming up, and I'm on board. So
yeah, I'm
check
totally
it out.
Excited.
And of course, stay tuned for the rest of the episode. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. So let's jump into Batman White Knight, this Elseworldsian story from Sean Murphy. But before we do that, you gotta know what happened. In a weird mix of the animated series and the old Batman movies, Sean Murphy tells a story that feels like Season 4 of the animated series with a rated R twist. Batman battles the Joker and then makes him feel bad. Joker implies taking some FDA-rejected anti-insanity pills will make him show Batman the error of his ways, so Batman forcibly shoves the entire bottle down Joker's throat, and the video caught of it goes viral. Everybody's complaining about the Batman's recklessness, which he reveals is due to the fact that Alfred is dying. Joker, no longer insane, teaches himself law and explains that Batman and the GCPD are part of the problem, pledging to be Gotham's White Knight. And there you have it! That is what happened in the first issue of this mini-series.
Yes.
That takes a dark turn on the Dark Knight.
Oh, Oh.
I couldn't make it work into white, but anyway.
Yeah, that's just it's fine.
Yeah. So, what'd you think of Batman White Knight?
I am really glad that I had the knowledge before going into this that this was not in continuity.
Yeah, that would have been nice to know. I was actually looking at the cover recently off the rack, and I said, man, it'd be nice if there was some indicator that this was different.
Yeah.
Despite just having, like, a cool-looking cover. I would love to have Elseworlds come back.
Yes.
Even if the average comic book reader doesn't know what an Elseworlds is, at least then they're like, Elseworlds? That doesn't say the price or the number. You know, it's something that visually distinguishes it from something that is normal.
No,
because I can imagine some random kid picking it up and being like, Batman, yay, and then being like, what's he doing? Ah! Like, I don't know.
I hear you. I mean, at the very least, you know, this is I think what helps to distinguish it right now is that it lacks the rebirth.
Oh, big time.
At the top of it. Going forward though, once that comes off,
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Weird.
Like, when it's collected into trade, you know, like, having something like that on it would help, I
agree.
think. Because, again, once it's in trade, it's on the shelf with the rest of the Bat books.
Yep. What'd you think?
I thought it was kind of interesting, honestly. I really enjoyed it. I first of all, let me just say I love the art.
Oh, yeah.
I love the art paired with the story. I thought it was, like, really fitting. I, of course, felt so much love for Batman the Animated Series from this, which is something I love. So, like, that immediately won me over. But, like, random cinematic elements rolling into this really kind of
specifically
threw me
Burton
out.
and Schumacher stuff.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. We should talk about the art first.
Okay.
Because it's so good.
It's so good!
It's amazing. It's a gorgeous looking book. Murphy does an amazing job with Batman, Joker, the cops, the Bat family. The Batmobile, there's the city itself, everything looks amazing.
Yes.
So it's
one funny thing I noticed, and it's not a bad thing, it's just one thing I noticed, is just that occasionally, or not occasionally, but early on when we see Batgirl, when she's out of the Batmobile, she's just constantly in an action pose.
Yeah.
Like, everything she's doing, I'm like...
She's very kinetic and bright, and she's like she's like a bird, just fluttering all over the page.
Just relax.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But otherwise, I mean, like, his action's great.
His action's great. His Batman's interesting. He also deliberately tweaks the costume.
He does.
So he doesn't have gloves. He has, like, these, like, paintball gloves with the, you know...
Yeah, he's got
the spikes, but
there.
they're built into the sleeve.
Right, his Harvey Bullock, his Harvey Bullock is like straight out of the animated series, but like just in his style, which I was like really well done.
Yeah,
I like his Jim Gordon. I like his attention to detail when we see Joker in his cell after the aftermath of everything.
Yes.
Like all of the little things in there. Also, the shots just composed beautifully because it's just this like very isolating like moment, and then you have all this like amazing collection of stuff that part of you is like, man, I wish I had that.
Right, like, man, Joker's one of the best Batman collectors I've ever seen.
Except he took everything out of the box.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing's mint. But yeah, it's a gorgeous looking book. I love his Batmobile. There's so much to say that's positive about the art.
Yeah.
That said, this book read like a friend of mine from childhood who never read comics, who is only familiar with the cartoon show and those Schumacher movies and the Burton movies, was given the opportunity to write his own Batman story.
First of all, like, I noticed all of that. For me, it really hit me over the head when we discover what's going on with Alfred. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's Batman and Robin.
Yeah. But
however,
we are probably going to get the animated series version of Mr. Freeze.
I know.
Which means we'll probably get one of the best versions of Mr. Freeze in a comic in a long time.
I know, I'm so excited.
That's gonna be awesome.
I don't care what you're saying now.
Damn
because
it.
At the end of the day, I'm so excited for where this is going. And for me, and we'll have to see, because this is the first issue.
Yeah.
So you're making a lot of calls on this on one issue.
I am.
Because for me, it just seems like he was inspired by this. Like, a lot of these, like, factors, like a lot of these things that are going on. Like, he's like, all right, let me establish some of a Batman animated series, which is, like, a very different Batman who, you know, can be grim and gritty, can be dour, can be, like, you know, just sad in general. Mm-hmm. But it's not as, like, you know, heavy as like something like Dark Knight, right?
Right. Except it is, because he's pushed to the edge where he's reckless and monstrous and hurts the innocent. And
well, no, hang on. Hang on. But I'm saying, like, let's take that setup.
Right. That Batman over there.
Then let's add in this thing from Batman and Robin. Right. Let's pull that in, like, this one idea, which...
from the movie Batman and Robin, yes. Yeah, where Alfred's dying. Right. So they use Mr. Freeze's technology.
Right. And he's like, but I could imagine that as he had, like, watching that movie for the first time, let's say he is a Bat fan, he's just like... Batman would have been going to the ends of the earth
Right, to save
the man who became his father.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, he's like, all right, I'm going to take that, but I'm going to put it in this universe because it's something no one would expect in this universe.
No, it's true.
To see him driven that far.
But it is literally just the plot point for that movie.
I know it is. But
I mean, and done probably better.
Right? I'm interested to see what the twist is on the pills. Like, what they do.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
What they actually... Or if there is even a twist.
I feel like this issue is literally about just getting all the exposition out of the way, and he's like, I picked the animated series because you've already made some assumptions about everything, and I don't need you to worry about the continuity so bad, so like I can move on. Like it's Gordon and Bullock and everybody you remember from the animated series. You know those characters, then forget it, then move on. Yeah. We don't have to establish who Gordon is in this strange, crazy world. Like it's everything you know about this. But like, you know, in my world. Yeah. And it's like, all right, fine. I'll grant you that.
I'm definitely granting that. I really enjoyed this. Like I enjoyed the tone of it. Again, I get what you're talking about reference wise. I'm hoping it's not laziness. I'm hoping it's just inspiration, and then we go somewhere else from here on out.
I have no doubt that issue 2 and beyond will not be quite as reference heavy. Okay. I hope.
Right. I mean, that being said, we do see like again like another splash page of like the Joker himself. Like we see varying parts of his life, right? Which I think confirms the idea of like
it's a merging of things. We saw the image of Batman holding the Joker. We like from the animated or the 89 movie. We saw animated Harley Quinn. Yes. We saw a lot of stuff that was like, these are the things that you probably remember
like,
here.
Like he has a miniseries, and in one issue he set up like a future point that we've seen. We've set up a bunch of the backstory that's going on, and he set up the world that this exists. Yeah. I don't know. For me, as long as we don't tread as much in this, this is fine. Like this
we do. You know, the whole thing that I'm complaining about took place 1 year ago, and the book really is taking place a year later. So hopefully, it's not all it's not all flashback.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're gonna have to see how it goes. But like, I'm gonna say I recommend this because I really enjoyed this. But again, like I'm a huge fan of the animated series, and like I also like grim, gritty, and dark. And so like to take that universe and push it to the limits like this, great. Pulling in the movies, we'll see how that goes. All I know is I love Mr. Freeze. I love his relationship with
the
Nora.
movies just rip off the cartoon.
Right, so but they just do it like really,
for Mr. Freeze.
They really do it poorly in the movies.
Well, yeah.
And in the cartoon, it's just
it's poetry.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess I also recommend it because the art's too good to ignore.
So good.
But I was also like, like when I'm reading, I'm like, all right. I don't know. It felt a little
You're like Harvey Bullock.
I am a little like Harvey Bullock.
And I'm Jim Gordon. I'm like, no, it's okay.
It's going to be all right.
We're going to make it work.
But yeah, so there you have it, everybody. Those are some reviews. And of course, don't forget to check out that incredible unboxing that we did. And get your own. Check the description box below this video to grab a link that's made just for you. Yeah. So check it out and at least give them a look. I recommend it. Yeah. So let's jump into some recommendations, speaking of which, for books that are coming out this week that we think you should pick out. So this week I have 3 recommendations for you. Obviously, I'm going to recommend Action Comics number 989. It's the Oz Effect continuing. This time we're going to see Jor-El, supposedly. By the way, I'm pretty certain it's not Jor-El. But Jor-El is going to be facing off against Lois Lane. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the sparks fly in that one. The next one I have to recommend is, of course, Dark Knight's Metal number 3. The series is vexing and insane, and I can't wait to see the next chapter, so obviously I have to recommend it because I think you've got to be on board. This book is a must-have and a great water cooler-esque book. I don't know what the equivalent is for comic book fans, but yeah, I should definitely recommend it. And of course, the third one is The Defenders number 6, where Deadpool's showing up, which probably means the book isn't selling very well because that's usually the Spider-Man effect. Spider-Man hasn't showed up in The Defenders yet, which is kind of mind-bending because the Defenders are obviously just the new Avengers, and you can't have the new Avengers without Spider-Man. But that said, Defenders number 6, I love this series despite Bendis' horrible Punisher, but I think the series is so solid it's worth a pickup. Also, the art is terrific, so there you have it.
Alright, so this is kind of an indie-heavy week for me. Starting off, Family Trade number 1 comes out this week. It's written by Justin Jordan with art by Morgan Beam. Basically, it's a steampunk alchemy adventure with ocean stuff in it. I'm gonna at least check it out, give it a shot. You know, I like fantasy and all that kind of stuff. You throw in some alchemy, I'm on board. I'm gonna definitely give that a try. But also from Image this week, it's funny. So we have like this kind of fantasy side to it, and then we have this incredible sci-fi story that's coming out called God Complex number 1. It's written by Paul Jenkins with art by Hendry Prasetya? I don't know why. Every time. It's just a disaster over here. This looks very sci-fi. It includes, you know, a forensics investigator. It includes religion. It includes mythological gods. And yet, like, this digital version of it in the future. I don't know where this is going. It sounds crazy. I'm going to give Paul Jenkins a shot here. I know he's done some work on Inhumans and Wolverine Origins. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going on. And then, of course, from DC... Mr. Miracle #3 is coming out, written by Tom King, with art by Mitch Gerads. I'm so excited. After issue 2, I was like, could we just go to the future where I have issue 3? I'm loving this series. I love everything he's doing with it. The entire, like, mystery that he is writing around the New Gods, around what's going on with the New Gods. I like the, you know, contention between Orion and Mr. Miracle himself. We saw Granny Goodness. Sorry, Granny. In the last issue, and just, I cannot wait to see where this is going. I have no guesses as where it's going, and I don't want to. I just want to go on the journey. So, Tom King, let's go.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode of Off the Rack. But by the way, we might be seeing you on a different day.
Yeah, we don't know how we're going to work this.
We're working this out because we've changed our shooting schedule, and it's going to be taking place after the new books come out.
Yeah.
So we're going to be reviewing newer books sooner, so that you're going to get those reviews at an earlier date.
We're just trying to figure out, like, do you guys want it earlier? Do you want to be watching this on a Friday, or do you want to just wait till the Monday?
Exactly. So let us know. We'd like to know, actually, your thoughts.
Yeah, so, that would be awesome, because that would really help us, because it's been a heated debate.
Well, and we don't know, honestly. It's just impossible to tell. So anyway, but by the way, choose a side.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, I don't care, I love everything you do. We appreciate that, but make a call, because we really need some kind of decision.
Exactly. And don't forget to check the description box for all kinds of awesome stuff, including some of the information about our unboxing.
That's right.
Because I gotta tell you, seriously, those guys are awesome.
That's right.